just take his phone off him and just seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey, it's a security breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you see phone in my car.
Whoa.
Welcome to Candid Cops UK. Real stories, real duty. Life behind the badge.
This episode is brought to us by Coley Burks. Be sure to check the link below and subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Coley heads to a police station in Southampton to carry out a simple, lawful audit. But within moments, it all explodes. A sergeant and two officers swarm him, running purely on emotion, not law, turning a calm interaction into one of the worst detentions yet. And just when you think it can't get any worse, another officer smashes Coley's camera for no reason whatsoever. Coley takes legal action.
Okay, why are you filming people's cars when they're coming out of there then? Because they're personal cars, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in public.
Well, they're not in public at the moment.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
All right.
You want to see my ID?
Yeah, I would really expect you to show it to me.
There you go. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman.
DS, yeah.
Okay.
And any detective work to be getting on with, or?
Well, no, I'm due to be
more
going
worried
home now.
about. All right, then go home then.
No, I'm more worried about you filming people's private cars. Police officers get a bit jumpy about that.
Why?
Why? Because people don't like us.
Okay,
Some
well, I'm
people have
not.
vengeance against police officers, and you're filming our personal cars when we come out.
But I don't.
That makes me very jumpy.
Why? What are you jumpy about?
Well, my personal details going out on social media or something like that.
So you're just assuming that it's going to go on social media? Do you know any of this? Like, you're just assuming.
No, I'm asking you.
Because this is what I'm choosing to do with my time today.
Yeah, but why are you doing that? Did you say you're not interested in people's private plate?
No, I'm not.
You're recording when they come out of there.
What can I do with someone's private plate? Only yourselves in the DVLA could pull that info.
I've got no idea.
Okay, well, rest assured, I'm not interested.
It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
The sergeant leaves already unsettled, and that's the main problem. Instead of looking at what's really happening, he's reacting to what he fears might happen, letting his worries control his actions. He says Coley is filming private number plates, but every plate on the road is public. When the sergeant says, "I don't know, but it makes me uncomfortable," it shows exactly what's wrong. He's policing based on feelings, not facts or the law. Coley didn't cause the problem. The sergeant did, by mixing his personal anxiety with his job.
Been filming other police stations at all?
Is it your business?
Yeah, it is. I'm asking you now, yeah. Because if you're going around filming all the police stations, that makes me feel very uneasy.
Right.
And
so what are you trying to do?
I need to investigate that.
Okay, what do you want to investigate?
Why you are filming Hampshire police stations. Is my conversation not clear? Are you not clear on what I'm saying?
This is a camera, mate. I've given you assurances that I'm not here for any trouble.
Have I explained that? Have you not registered that?
I don't even think you are on edge. There's three of you. I've got a camera. Like, you guys are armed. Like, why would you be on edge? Should I not be the one that's on edge?
It's when we're coming out in personal vehicles.
Yeah, but what can I possibly do with your personal vehicle?
You tell me.
Then you should maybe consider taking the bus to work or something. I don't really understand.
Why should myself and my colleagues, or our way of getting to work?
Because you're so concerned about security arrangements and whatnot. So if it's such a security risk...
I'll tell you why, because police officers get attacked on and off duty.
Right.
That's what makes me nervous.
Okay.
And they do that because people share our private information and track us down to where we live with our families. That makes me nervous.
This is where the excuses start to get ridiculous. When Coley tells the officer, "If you're that worried, take the bus," the officer actually responds, "Why should me and my colleagues go out of our way to get to work?" That makes no sense. He's the one saying there's a security risk, not Coley. You can't park your personal car in public, wear a police uniform, and then complain about being seen. That's not a security problem. It's hypocrisy. Then the sergeant adds another excuse, saying officers get attacked because people share their private information. But that's not happening here. Coley isn't posting home addresses or personal details. He's just filming from a legal public space.
So has there been any cases of someone filming private plates and then going on to attack police officers? Well, if you don't have any idea, then you can't be making those assumptions. Like.
Well, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling you
that
I'm not interested in harming any police officer.
But I don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? All right, how are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna like? What does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
I don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining it.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place, doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like,
is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
No.
No? Why are you here then?
To film.
Why to film?
Because this is what I want to do.
Filming?
The sergeant isn't even trying to hide that he's acting based on his feelings. When Coley calmly asks, "How can we proceed?" the sergeant says, "I'd like you to leave if possible." When Coley asks, "What will that achieve?" the sergeant shocks everyone with his answer. "It will make me feel better." That's not law enforcement, it's enforcing feelings. Every sentence he says is about himself. It makes me uncomfortable. It puts me on edge. It would make me feel better. Since when does the public have to worry about an officer's personal comfort? It's completely backward. The police are supposed to serve the public, not the other way around.
Maybe other members of the public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of here, be on edge. Why is he filming me? Okay.
Because we're in public. You guys have got cameras everywhere. Like, you're filming.
And there's
like,
CCTV all the way around.
of
the
course
city,
there is.
isn't
Exactly. So what? I don't know why we've got such a
And obviously today
front
we've got another
about
Do you not think
filming.
that the police station could be a security risk?
Is it not a secure building? Like,
That wasn't my question. Do you concede that people may want to target a police station?
no.
You don't concede
Because
that?
it's not. I don't think it's a valuable target. I don't know what sort of people you're referring to. I don't think this is a valuable target for a terrorist. Has a police station ever been attacked
Yeah, up in
by a
London they
terrorist?
have.
Has they?
Yeah, London
Which
police
one?
stations have been attacked quite regularly.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Well, name one then.
So, yeah.
So you can't name them, but you're saying that it's happening. Well, which one then?
I can tell you, but I won't.
What?
I can tell you, but I won't.
You can tell me, but you won't.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit odd. I don't know
Same
why.
as you, not giving a reason for being here.
When Coley questions the officer's claim about a security threat and asks if police stations are often attacked, the sergeant confidently says, "Yes, quite regularly." That's simply not true. There have been a few incidents, mostly decades ago or linked to Northern Ireland's troubles, but attacks aren't regular at all. In fact, UK terrorism data shows attacks on police stations are extremely rare. Today, threats target public places, transport hubs, and crowds, not random police stations. Then his colleague adds, "I can tell you, but I won't," like a playground taunt instead of a professional answer. This shows the real problem. They weren't having an honest discussion. They were just trying to win an argument.
This was like a genuine security risk, and this genuinely posed a threat. I wouldn't be irresponsible and come and do this. Believe me. And if this was behaviour that I knew that terrorists engaged in,
But it is.
I would have.
They
No,
film
it's
targets. They
what,
definitely-
overtly
Well, they might
with,
do.
with this little crappy
How do
little
I know
gimbal.
You're not a terrorist. How do I know that? How do I know that?
You don't know that, but you have to go
Exactly
based
right.
on what you do know. There needs to be an objective
Yeah, so
basis.
What I do know is I've got a man who's not willing to give his details stood in front of me who's filming police stations.
Okay.
So that's what I do know. That's the facts.
Okay.
Is it not?
So me filming does not implicate me as any sort of like prospective terrorist
But it
or otherwise.
raises my suspicion.
Well, you can be suspicious all you want. Like it's not a crime. You suspecting me of doing something is not a crime. You need to have some sort of reasonable suspicion or objective basis to suspect me as a terrorist.
No. Well, at the moment, I think you are filming a police station.
Yeah.
With no reason to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You are refusing to give your details. I have no idea where that information's going, and I know you have filmed other Hampshire police stations.
This moment shows just how messed up the sergeant's thinking is. When Coley says, if he knew this was terrorist behavior, he wouldn't have done it, the sergeant replies, "How do I know you're not a terrorist?" That's ridiculous. Policing shouldn't be based on guessing what someone might be. Coe's response is correct. Officers have to act on what they actually know. They need clear facts under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, not fear or imagination. Yet the sergeant keeps insisting Coley is filming for no reason and refuses to give details, as if that alone makes him suspicious. Filming in public is legal, and refusing to explain something isn't a crime. He's creating a problem that doesn't exist. It's purely feelings-based policing pretending to be counterterrorism, and it shows how poorly trained he really is.
Power search? Section 44? 43, is it? I think we can do that. I think we could do
Sure you want to do that? I don't think you got grounds for a section 43 search.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I do. Okay, so
yeah, well, it's not about thinking. This is objective. It's not an opinion, is it?
Look,
the legislation's black and white. It's not I think.
You can have this conversation with the solicitor afterwards, and they can come after me at a later date. That's absolutely fine. Okay, that's your right.
So you're going to abuse my rights now, yeah?
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to use our powers. Okay. So what I'm saying, I find your behaviour very suspicious.
Okay.
You are filming not just this police station in Hampshire, but other police stations in Hampshire. You can give me no legal
listen to what you're saying, Hampshire.
no legal reason why you are doing that, other than because you want to.
Yeah, I don't need a reason.
So we can't even verify who you are or what you are doing it for. Therefore,
I'm not obliged to give
consider
details.
that to be quite a big terrorist risk. Okay, so you are now detained for this search.
This exchange shows what happens when authority replaces understanding. When Coley says, "I don't think you have grounds," the sergeant just replies, "I think I do." That small answer reveals a huge problem. He's relying on personal belief, not the law. Section 43 isn't about what an officer feels might be suspicious. It requires clear, objective reasons that anyone could understand. Coley is right to point out it's not black and white. The sergeant's words show he doesn't understand that detaining someone under terrorism powers is extremely serious. It needs facts and precision, not guesses or hunches.
So these officers are going to search you now in order to see if there is anything that needs to raise that suspicion even further.
So what items? Who's conducting the search firstly?
These two are going to conduct the search.
But you've just launched with it. So what are these officers going to be searching for?
Anything related to terrorism.
Such as what? That's a bit abstract, isn't it? Any sort of specific items?
Not at the moment.
So you're searching for my ID?
Well, no, and anything relating to terrorism. So if all of a sudden we find ID, and that says, actually, this bloke's okay, there's nothing to worry about.
I am okay. I've told you I'm okay.
Yeah, I know you've told me, but I don't know that. Or it might say he's on a terrorist watch list, and then we've got something to worry about, haven't we? So
you're not going to find my info though.
Okay, that's fine. But they're going to search you for that purpose.
This power doesn't. I don't have to provide my information in this power.
No, I'm not asking you to provide anything.
But you just said you're hoping to find ID, this and that. Like.
Yeah, if they find it, we'll look at it.
You know, you can be sued in a civil court.
That's absolutely fine. You can go down that route. I haven't got a problem with that.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
This is a perfect example of how not to use police powers. When Coley asks what they're searching for, the sergeant replies, "Anything related to terrorism," which shows he doesn't really understand the law. That answer means nothing legally. Section 43 requires specific, reasonable suspicion that a person is carrying something connected to terrorism, not a vague, fishing expedition. The moment an officer can't say what they're looking for, the search becomes unlawful. When Coley calmly reminds him that the power doesn't let officers demand ID, the sergeant just shrugs and says it's fine, even when warned about being sued. He knows he's acting outside the law, but seems confident his badge will protect him.
So the outcome of the search was negative, so why am I still detained? If you've completed the search...
At the moment we're trying to identify who you are.
I know, but you've just detained me for the purposes of a search, not to find out my identity. So now, as I'm further detained, this is becoming more and more unlawful because now you're detaining me to find out my name. Like, that wasn't the object of the search, was it? You've done the search, it's come back negative. I know, but you're the one that's launched with the power, so I feel like you're the one...
The officer said you was trying to find out your identity.
Yeah, but that wasn't the purpose of the search.
Okay,
Section 43 doesn't require me to give my details.
Is that what you're saying? Do you want to go?
Yes.
Go on then.
Can I get a copy of the search slip, please?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
You've been arrested before?
Don't worry, in due time, you'll find out everything you need to know.
Okay. I'll wait in due time and then I'll know who you are, won't I?
Oh, well, I can't go.
Is he recording cars as they're coming out of there?
Yeah, it is.
Let's take his phone off him and let's seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey?
Evidence
it's a security
of what?
breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you phone in my car.
Whoa.
The video ends on a shocking note. While Coley waits calmly for his search form, an off-duty officer suddenly rushes over, shouting, "Security breach," and grabs his camera to turn it off. Coley later updates us, explaining that the police are trying to stop him from taking this case further.
Okay, so now I will talk you through said developments in chronological order as best I can. If you need to pause the video at any point to digest what's going on, then feel free to do so. Naturally, the first step was to file a complaint, which you will now see on the screen. The complaint explained in great detail the events that occurred outside Southampton police station and my dismay with the treatment that I had received. Following my complaint, I was quickly emailed by a sergeant prompting me to come to the station to collect my phone. You guys are already aware of that. Following this, the next step was to make a subject access request in order to gain access to the body-worn footage that was compiled on me at the time of the search. I was then contacted by a member of the Public Rights Access team telling me that my request would be processed. Shortly afterwards, I was met with a letter from the Access Rights team restricting my access under provisions of Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act in order to protect the rights and freedoms of others. This didn't make much sense to me, as the footage was compiled in a public place where privacy is not an expectation. So naturally, I drafted a letter challenging the Access team's refusal to grant me permission to get hold of this footage. And so eventually I got a reply on the 18th of November informing me that my letter had been passed on to the Public Access manager and that I was due a response on the 16th of December. Today is the 20th of December and we are still yet to receive any further correspondence from the Public Access team. It seems as though Hampshire Constabulary are making a concentrated effort to withhold any information from me to cover their tracks. This deceitfulness is not instilling any confidence from myself nor the public in Hampshire Constabulary. If anything, it is exposing their lack of transparency and openness in dealing with a blatant case of misconduct. So I'm simply following the letter of the law and using the tools and information given to me as via legislation.
This update makes the whole case even more frustrating. When Coley tried to do things properly, filing a request to get the officer's body-worn footage, Hampshire Constabulary refused. They used Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act, which is meant to protect ongoing investigations or sensitive data, not to hide misconduct in public. The footage was taken in a public space, involving officers in uniform on duty, so there's no legal or ethical reason to withhold it. It's clear the force is protecting themselves, not sensitive material that if Coley took this to court, it would likely be an easy win. The detention, based on weak terrorism claims and driven by feelings rather than facts, would probably be ruled unlawful. Damages for false detention and breach of rights could range from £2,000 to £6,000, or more if the court thinks the evidence was deliberately withheld. The legal system doesn't look kindly on police who misuse their powers and then try to hide it. Right now, there are no further updates from Coley because he is serving time for an unrelated offense. But it's a reminder that justice and accountability don't always happen at the same speed.